After a Journey by Thomas Hardy. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. Hereto I come to interview a ghost. Whither, oh whither will its whim now draw me? Up the cliff, down, till I'm lonely, lost, and the unseen water's ejaculations awe me. Where you will be next there's no knowing, facing round about me everywhere, with your nut-colored hair and gray eyes and rose flush coming and going. Yes, I have re-entered your olden haunts at last. Through the years, through the dead scenes I have tracked you. What have you now found to say of our past, viewed across the dark space wherein I have lacked you? Summer gave us sweets, but autumn wrought division. Things were not lastly as firstly well with us twain, you tell? But all's closed now, despite time's derision. I see what you are doing. You are leading me on to the spots we knew when we haunted here together. The waterfall, above which the mist bow shone, at the then fair hour, in the then fair weather. And the cave just under, with a voice still so hollow that it seems to call out to me from 40 years ago, when you were all aglow, and not the thin ghost that I now frailly follow. Ignorant of what there is fitting here to see, the waked birds preen and the seals flop lazily. Soon you will have, dear, to vanish from me, for the stars close their shutters and the dawn whitens hazily. Trust me, I mind not, though life lowers, the bringing me here. Nay, bring me here again. I am just the same as when our days were a joy and our paths through flowers. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Autumn Prophecy by J.M. March. Read for LibriVox.org by Ian King. The dead leaves dance like withered witches, teetering, swirling, dropping and curling, and crackling in the dried-up ditches. Hear them whisper as we go past, how each dry lip rustles gossip. Do you hear them saying, our love won't last? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Broken Fountain by Amy Lowell. Read for LibriVox.org by Ian King. Oblong, its jutted ends rounding into circles, the old sunken basin lies, with its flat marble lip an inch below the terrace tiles. Over the stagnant water slide reflections, the blue-green of coned yews, the purple and red of trailing fuchsias dripping out of marble urns, bright squares of sky ribbed by the wake of a swimming beetle. Through the blue-bronze water wavers the pale uncertainty of a shadow. An arm flashes through the reflections. A breast is outlined with leaves. Outstretched in the quiet water, the statue of a goddess slumbers. But when autumn comes, the beech leaves cover her with a golden counterpane. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Choice by Angela Morgan. Read for LibriVox.org by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio. I'd rather have the thought of you to hold against my heart, my spirit to be taught of you with west winds blowing, than all the warm caresses of another love's bestowing, or all the glories of the world in which you had no part. I'd rather have the theme of you to thread my nights and days, I'd rather have the dream of you with faint stars glowing. I'd rather have the want of you, the rich, elusive taunt of you, forever and forever, and forever unconfessed, than claim the alien comfort of any other's breast. O lover, O my lover, that this should come to me! I'd rather have the hope for you. Ah, love, I'd rather grope for you within the great abyss than claim another's kiss. Alone I'd rather go my way throughout eternity. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Dead Democrat by George Essex Evans. Read for LibriVox.org by Son of the Exiles. The Dead Democrat. The roar and rush of life sweeps on. Still shines the sun as once it shone. Men reap and sow and live and toil, and plan for power and scheme for spoil. What reeks the world in field or street? One heart has ceased to beat. But she to whom in all the lands the toilers stretch beseeching hands, democracy, the soul of all, marks where her faithful servants fall. They seek not things that others seek, who battle for the weak. Her yoke is heavy to be borne, her bitter paths are choked with thorn, but glorious shines through mist and haze the splendour of her coming days. Our loftiest tribute shall be then he served his fellow men. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Don Juan Declaims by James Elroy Flecker. Read for LibriVox.org by Algy. I am Don Juan, cursed from age to age by priestly tract and sentimental stage, branded a villain or believed a fool, battered by hatred, seared by ridicule. Noble on earth, all but a king in hell, I am Don Juan with a tale to tell. Hot leapt the dawn from deep Plutonian fires, and ran like blood among the twinkling spires. The market quickened, carts came rattling down, good human music roared about the town. And come, they cried, and buy the best of Spain's great fireskin fruits with cold and steaming veins. Others, the man who'd make a lordly dish would buy my speckled or my silver fish. And some, I'll stitch you raiment to the rule. And some, I sell you attar of Stamboul. And I have lapis for your love to wear, pearls for her neck, and amber for her hair. Death has its gleam. They swing before me still, the shapes and sounds and colours of Seville. For there I learned to love the plot, the fight, the masker's cloak, the ladder set for flight, the stern pursuit, the rapier's glint of death, the scent of starlit roses, beauty's breath, the music and the passion and the prize, Aragon lips and Andalusian eyes. This day a democrat I scoured the town, courting the next I brought a princess down. Now in some lady's panelled chamber hid, achieved what love approves and laws forbid, now walked and whistled around the sleepy farms, and clasped a Dulcinea in my arms. I was the true, the grand idealist. My light could pierce the pretty golden mist that hides from common souls the starrier climes. I loved as small men do 10,000 times, rose to the blue triumphant, curved my bow, set high the mark, and brought an angel low, and laced with that brave body and shining soul, learned how to live, then learned to love the whole. And I first broke that jungle dark and dense, which hides the silver house of common sense, and dissipated that disastrous lie which makes a god of stuffless unity, and drave the dark behind me, and revealed a pagan sunrise on a Christian field. My legend tells how once, by passion moved, I slew the father of a girl I loved, then summoned, like an old and hardened sinner, the brand new statue of the dead to dinner. My ribald guests, with Spanish wine aflame, were most delighted when that statue came, bowed to the party, made a little speech, and bore me off beyond their human reach. Well, priests must flourish, and the truth must pale, a very pious, entertaining tale. But this believe, I struck a ringing blow at sour authority's ancestral show, and stirred the sawdust understuffing all the sceptred or the surpliced ritual. I willed my happiness, kept bright and brave my thoughts and deeds this side the accursed grave. Life was a 10-course banquet after all, and neatly rounded by my funeral. Pale guest, why strip the roses from your brow? We hope to feast till morning. Who knocks now? 12 of the clock, Don Juan. In came he, that shining, tall and cold authority, whose marble lips smile down on lips that pray, and took my hand, and I was led away. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Elaine by Edna St. Vincent Millay. Read for LibriVox.org by Shakira Searle. Oh, come again to Astolat. I will not ask you to be kind, and you may go when you will go, and I will stay behind. I will not say how dear you are, or ask you if you hold me dear, or trouble you with things for you the way I did last year. So still the orchard, Lancelot, so very still the lake shall be. You could not guess, though you should guess, what is become of me. So wide shall be the garden walk, the garden seat so very wide, you needs must think, if you should think, the lily maid had died. Save that, a little way away, I'd watch you for a little while, to see you speak the way you speak, and smile if you should smile. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Evening by H.D. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. Evening. The light passes from ridge to ridge, from flower to flower. The hepaticas widespread under the light grow faint. The petals reach inward, the blue tips bend toward the bluer heart, and the flowers are lost. The cornel buds are still white, but shadows dart from the cornel roots. Black creeps from root to root. Each leaf cuts another leaf on the grass. Shadow seeks shadow. Then both leaf and leaf shadow are lost. End of poem. Recording by Ben Adams.
The Horseman by Walter de la Mare. Read for LibriVox.org by Kangaroo. I heard a horseman ride over the hill. The moon shone clear, the night was still. His helm was silver, and pale was he, and the horse he rode was of ivory. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
In Hospital by James Elroy Flecker. Read for LibriVox.org by Algy Pug. Would I might lie like this, without the pain, for 7 years, as one with snowy hair, who in the high tower dreams his dying reign. Lie here, and watch the walls, how grey and bare the metalled bedpost, the uncoloured screen, the mat, the jug, the cupboard, and the chair, and served by an old woman, calm and clean, her misted face familiar, yet unknown, who comes in silence, and departs unseen, and with no other visit lie alone, nor stir, except I had my food to find in that dull bowl Diogenes might own. And down my window I would draw the blind, and never look without, but, waiting, hear a noise of rain, a whistling of the wind, and only know that Flamefoot Spring is near by trilling birds, or by the patch of sun crouching behind my curtain. So in fair noon dreams should enter, softly, one by one, and throng about the floor, and float and play and flicker on the screen while minutes run, the last majestic minutes of the day, and with the mystic shadows shadow grow. Then the grey square of wall should fade away, and glow again, and open, and disclose the shimmering lake in which the planets swim, and all that lake a dewdrop on a rose. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Lake Isle of Innisfree by William Butler Yeats. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin build there, of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. There midnight's all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wings. I will arise and go now, for always night and day I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore, while I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's gray, I hear it in the deep heart's core. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Market Girl by Thomas Hardy. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. Nobody took any notice of her as she stood on the causey curb, all eager to sell her honey and apples and bunches of garden herb. And if she had offered to give her wares and herself with them too that day, I doubt if a soul would have cared to take a bargain so choice away. But chancing to trace her sunburnt grace that morning as I passed nigh, I went and I said, "Poor maidie dear, and will none of the people buy?" And so it began, and soon we knew what the end of it all must be. And I found that though no others had bid, a prize had been won by me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Midday by H.D. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. Midday. The light beats upon me. I am startled. A split leaf crackles on the paved floor. I am anguished, defeated. A slight wind shakes the seed pods. My thoughts are spent as the black seeds. My thoughts tear me. I dread their fever. I am scattered in its whirl. I am scattered like the hot, shriveled seeds. The shriveled seeds are spilt on the path. The grass bends with dust. The grape slips under its crackled leaf. Yet far beyond the spent seed pods and the blackened stalks of mint, the poplar is bright on the hill. The poplar spreads out, deep-rooted among trees. O poplar, you are great among the hill stones, while I perish on the path among the crevices of the rocks. End of poem. Recording by Ben Adams. Night by H.D. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Night. The night has cut each from each and curled the petals back from the stalk and under it in crisp rows. Under at an unfaltering pace, under till the rinds break, back till each bent leaf is parted from its stalk. Under at a grave pace, under till the leaves are bent back till they drop upon earth, back till they are all broken. O night, you take the petals of the roses in your hand, but leave the stark core of the rose to perish on the branch. End of poem. Recording by Ben Adams.
The Night Wind by Eugene Field. Read for LibriVox.org by Kangaroo 692. Have you ever heard the wind go you? 'Tis a pitiful sound to hear. It seems to chill you through and through with a strange and speechless fear. 'Tis the voice of the night that broods outside when folk should be asleep, and many's the time I've cried to the darkness brooding far and wide over the land and the deep. Whom do you want, O lonely night, that you wail the long hours through? And the night would say in its ghostly way, You, you, you. My mother told me long ago, when I was a little tad, that when the night went wailing so, somebody had been bad. And then when I was snug in bed, whither I had been sent, with the blankets pulled up round my head, I'd think of what my mother'd said, and wonder what boy she meant. And who's been bad today, I'd ask, of the wind that hoarsely blew, and the voice would say in its meaningful way, You, you, you. That this was true I must allow. You'll not believe it, though. Yes, though I'm quite a model now, I was not always so. And if you doubt what things I say, suppose you make the test. Suppose when you've been bad some day, and up to bed are sent away from mother and the rest, suppose you ask who has been bad, and then you'll hear what's true. For the wind will moan in its ruefulest tone, You, you. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Out in the Fields with God by Anonymous British, read for LibriVox.org by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio. The little cares that fretted me, I lost them yesterday, among the fields above the sea, among the winds at play, among the lowing of the herds, the rustling of the trees, among the singing of the birds, the humming of the bees. The foolish fears of what might happen, I cast them all away, among the clover-scented grass, among the new-mown hay, among the husking of the corn, where drowsy poppies nod, where ill thoughts die and good are born, out in the fields with God. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Overtones by William Alexander Percy. Read for LibriVox.org by Winston Tharp. I heard a bird at break of day sing from the autumn trees a song so mystical and calm, so full of certainties, no man, I think, could listen long except upon his knees. Yet this was but a simple bird, alone among dead trees. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Parrot by James Elroy Flecker. Read for LibriVox.org by Algy. The old professor of zoology shook his long beard and spake these words to me. Compare the parrot with the dove. They are in shape the same, in hue dissimilar. The Indian bird, which may be sometimes seen in red or black, is generally green. His beak is very hard. It has been known to crack thick nuts and penetrate a stone. Alas, that when you teach him how to speak, you find his head is harder than his beak. The passionless Malay can safely drub the pates of parrots with an iron club. The ingenious fowls, like boys they beat at school, soon learn to recognize a despot's rule. Now if you train a parrot, catch him young, while soft the mouth and tractable the tongue. Old birds are fools, they dodder in their speech, more eager to forget than you to teach. They swear one curse, then gaze at you askance, and all oblivion thickens in their glance. Thrice blessed whose parrot, of his own accord, invents new phrases to delight his lord, who spurns the dull quotidian task, and tries selected words that prove him good and wise. Ah, once it was my privilege to know a bird like this, but that was long ago. July, 1909. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Say not the struggle, Naught Availeth, by Arthur Hugh Clough. Read for LibriVox.org by Son of the Exiles. Say not the struggle, Naught availeth, the labour and the wounds are vain. The enemy faints not, nor faileth, and as things have been, they remain. If hopes were dupes, fears may be liars. It may be in yon smoke concealed, your comrades chase even now the flyers, and, but for you, possess the field. For while the tide waves vainly breaking seem here no painful inch to gain, far back through creeks and inlets making comes silent, flooding in, the main. And not by eastern windows only, when daylight comes in the light. In front the sun climbs slow, how slowly, but westward, look, the land is bright. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
September 1918 by Amy Lowell. Read for LibriVox.org by Ian King. This afternoon was the colour of water falling through sunlight. The trees glittered with the tumbling of leaves. The sidewalks shone like alleys of dropped maple leaves, and the houses ran along them, laughing out of square open windows. Under a tree in the park, two little boys, lying flat on their faces, were carefully gathering red berries to put in a pasteboard box. Some day there will be no war. Then I shall take out this afternoon and turn it in my fingers, and remark the sweet taste of it upon my palate, and note the crisp variety of its flights of leaves. Today I can only gather it and put it into my lunchbox, for I have time for nothing but the endeavour to balance myself upon a broken world. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Someone by Walter de la Mare. Read for LibriVox.org by Kangaroo. Someone came knocking at my wee small door. Someone came knocking, I'm sure, sure, sure. I listened, I opened, I looked to left and right, but not there was a stirring in the still dark night. Only the busy beetle tap-tapping in the wall. Only from the forest the screech owl's call. Only the cricket whistling while the dewdrops fall. So I know not who came knocking at all, at all, at all. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sonnet III from 8 Sonnets. I know I am but summer to your heart, by Edna St. Vincent Millay. Read for LibriVox.org by Shakira Searle. October 2014. I know I am but summer to your heart, and not the full 4 seasons of the year. And you must welcome from another part such noble moods as are not mine, my dear. No gracious weight of golden fruits to sell have I, nor any wise and wintry thing. And I have loved you all too long and well to carry still the high sweet breast of spring. Wherefore I say, O love, as summer goes, I must be gone, steal forth with silent drums, that you may hail anew the bird and rose, when I come back to you, as summer comes. Else will you seek, at some not distant time, even your summer in another clime. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Sonnet VIII from 8 Sonnets. Say what you will, and scratch my heart to find. By Edna St. Vincent Millay. Read for LibriVox.org by Shakira Searle. October 2014. Say what you will, and scratch my heart to find the roots of last year's roses in my breast. I am as surely riper in my mind as if the fruit stood in the stalls confessed. Laugh at the unshed leaf, say what you will, call me in all things what I was before, a flutterer in the wind, a woman still. I tell you, I am what I was, and more. My branches weigh me down, frost cleans the air. My sky is black with small birds bearing south. Say what you will, confuse me with fine care. Put by my word as but an April truth. Autumn is no less on me, that a rose hugs the brown bough and sighs before it goes. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Time I've Lost in Wooing by Thomas Moore. Read for LibriVox.org by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio. The time I've lost in wooing, in watching and pursuing the light that lies in woman's eyes, has been my heart's undoing. Though wisdom oft has sought me, I scorned the lore she brought me. My only books were woman's looks, and folly's all they've taught me. Her smile, when beauty granted, I hung with gaze enchanted, like him the sprite whom maids by night oft meet in glen that's haunted. Like him, too, beauty won me, but while her eyes were on me, if once their ray was turned away, oh, winds could not outrun me. And are those follies going? And is my proud heart growing too cold or wise for brilliant eyes again to set it glowing? No, vain, alas, endeavor from bonds so sweet to sever. Poor wisdom's chance against a glance is now as weak as ever. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
To His Wife by Chinese General Su Wu, circa 100 BC. Read for LibriVox.org by John N. Daly. Since our hair was plaited and we became man and wife, the love between us was never broken by doubt. So let us be merry this night together, feasting and playing while the good time lasts. I suddenly remembered the distance that I must travel. I spring from bed and look out to see the time. The stars and planets are all grown dim in the sky. Long, long is the road, I cannot stay. I am going on service, away to the battleground, and I do not know when I shall come back. I hold your hand with only a deep sigh. Afterwards, tears in the days when we are parted. With all your might enjoy the spring flowers, but do not forget the time of our love and pride. Know that if I live, I will come back again, and if I die, we will go on thinking of each other. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Weathers by Thomas Hardy. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. This is the weather the cuckoo likes, and so do I, when showers betumble the chestnut spikes and nestlings fly, and the little brown nightingale bills his best, and they sit outside at the traveller's rest, and maids come forth, sprig muslin dressed, and citizens dream of the south and west, and so do I. This is the weather the shepherd shuns, and so do I, when beeches drip in browns and duns, and thresh and ply, and hill-hid tides throb throe on throe, and meadow rivulets overflow, and drops on gate bars hang in a row, and rooks in families homeward go, and so do I. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.